Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa, and today's Thursday, so we've got a lot going on. I think there's been some crazy news with the Terra Luna stuff. Johnny's going to update us on that, maybe a little bit of conspiracy with that. So, I'll be listening in and asking lots of questions to do with that. Johnny also sent me a video from our friend Economic Ninja about some diesel shortages. So, we want to make sure everybody's got a heads up on that, what's going on with that. Um, Lots of other stuff going on. So, we'll be right back after this. We even have a little breaking news from the IRS. Be right back after this. Welcome back, Johnny. You have your spy hat on today?
Yeah, I'm in my spy gear. I'm out checking in on the crypto bad guys that are manipulating everybody into these things like Terra Luna and all that. So I'm in undercover today.
Yeah, we had a great discussion I was invited on Dragon Chain, their world blockchain roundtable discussion this morning, and had a great discussion about it. They talked about what was going on with Terra Luna, but there's even been some updates through the day. Some things have changed even since this morning. So they halted the blockchain, which is insane to me. That's not very decentralized. And then you were saying they even restarted it then. Can you kind of update me on
supposedly I think I saw another tweet that they had restarted it, but if they can halt the blockchain and restart it, it's not a decentralized cryptocurrency. So it's kind of, for me, that would be a game over type of situation. I'm really disgusted with all the people that were promoting this, and they were how it was promoted and all of that. So I've been doing a lot of tweets. If you want to go through my timeline about it, we can see some of my tweets that I've
Let me
talked
go find
about.
yours real quick, because I know I had one up. Let me go find it real quick.
It's at 2 cents right now. It came back. It was at half a penny.
Actually, let me do something really quick. It's hard for me since I got canceled again on YouTube, but the good thing is we have a lot of freedom. We can talk about all kinds of stuff. But I want to share this with my Patreon real quick. I just couldn't pre-share a link until I went live. So let me do this real quick, and then so at least my patrons can watch on Twitter. And then I'll go jump on yours. Let's see. And I'll make it public so people can go on to Patreon and watch, and then they could comment on Patreon too if they wanted to. We can get creative. They ban us on other platforms. Okay, now I can jump on yours. Let's see. Johnny. Make sure to share. Yeah, and since I tried to go live yesterday, just for a little bit when we got back from the Special Olympics with Cannon, and he kept bumping the microphone, which turned the volume off, but then I wasn't on with someone else. So even though it said my mic wasn't muted, no one was able to hear me after about 6 minutes, which is really strange because we were talking about how, it's important. Whoop, that is the wrong screen. That it's important to that we need to be able to talk about things and share the truth and all that. And I was like, well, maybe I didn't get muted for a reason then.
Maybe it was for a reason. Just
Maybe it
maybe.
wasn't an accident. Yeah. Okay. Oh,
Let's see. Not the pinned tweet. Go down to some of the ones I've done about. I've been talking a lot about this situation. There we go. I said, wow, now Luna has not lost 99.97% of its value. Insanity. And I said underneath that, if you click on that one. So I said, this man, Mike Novogratz, is the bad guys that I talk about. Nothing that they do ever has your best interests at heart. He pushed for vaccine passports and wants crypto to be used as a control mechanism over your life. He hates Litecoin because it gives you freedom. So I've identified the bad guys for everybody. We always talk about the bad guys, the good guys, the bad guys. Who's the bad guys? Well, this is it. He went on, if you go on, I think I retweeted that. If underneath of that might be a video of him on, click on that one right there. Yep. Play that little gem for everybody. This is him. So can you play that for everybody, Lisa? You might have to click on that underneath tweet and then,
wait, let me try again. Sorry, it had me muted again. So here we go.
Interest from the community. It's strange to me that Litecoin shows up on anyone's, it's not something that people are engaged in. It's not a technology.
What should be on there?
Solana, Terra Luna, those are the cryptos that are getting the interest from the community that's building. And what we look at is who's building on things, where's the innovation, where's the development. And so I'd have Solana and Luna up there.
Okay, so coincidentally, so after this came out, so CNBC doesn't show Litecoin on the screen anymore because of this. So I actually tweeted before about giving props to Fox Business because they show the real cryptos up there. But after this occurred, he posted a picture of a Luna tattoo. He got a Terra Luna tattoo. Now, I think it's all part of the cover-up. That Bix did a video today. Watch Bix's video today that he talked about in relation to this. This guy's connected to that. And it's all part of the cover-up to me. Make billions. Post a picture that you got a tattoo. You can cover it up. Or who knows if it's even a real tattoo. Let's be serious here. And then when it's like, oh, would he be in on it? It's like he was more into this coin than anyone. He got the tattoo. Of course he's not in on it. Yeah.
Wow. Well, then this could be a good thing then. If he's the bad guy and the bad guy's getting taken down.
Well, not necessarily. He didn't get taken down. He got out with billions.
He got out with all the money and left the people holding the tokens.
They did this to watch Bix's video today. They did this, which Bix said rightfully so, to cast doubt on the whole DeFi space and all of that. I feel different about DeFi. I feel like, hey, DeFi is our way to fight back, but I never use this protocol at all. I'm not as into these stable coins by any means at all. And it's not, I'm always adamant with people, no, DeFi is better than a layer one decentralized blockchain. It's not even close. DeFi to me is more of like a business. It's cool. It's a business. It puts pressure on the banks and all that. But yeah, if you watch Bix's video today, he says that there was a few of the key financial entities that basically sold Do Kwon from Terra Luna this Bitcoin, and with the intention of then dumping all this. Basically, they bought up a bunch of the UST They made the supply illiquid, and they set this whole thing up, and knowing that it would just, it's all part of their plan kind of thing. So it's
well, the timing of this is, they're getting ready to come out, and Yellen's been screaming about CBDCs and demanding that there be regulations on stable coins by the end of the year and all that. So the timing of this is all perfect timing, as well as all of all these financial reports are due out this week. Where's my picture that I had that I put up?
Yeah, this is the video from Bix. Everybody, it's a quick one too. It's like 10 or 12 minutes. So definitely give it a give it a watch afterwards. But yeah, that's so it's so we got this guy that goes on CNBC, and coincidentally, that's when the coin was around $100. So how is this man not again, if he's not in, normal people would be thrown in jail. They'd be saying they're like the likes of Bernie Madoff. This guy's paraded around like he's a
expert.
Like he's an expert. So I feel like people should hold more of these crypto influencers accountable. These crypto expert people lost their life savings in this thing.
Right.
Because this whole Terra Luna was based around that algorithmic stable coin. And, at least if you're buying Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, that it's going to fluctuate up and down. That's part of the game, right? Mm-hmm. But a lot of these people were under the impression that stable coin is going to stay stable. And this could be a dry run too for what's going to happen to the the dollar at some point.
The other thing that I could see this doing is being justification for having, what do they call it? Qualified or getting rid of the retail
investors.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. They don't want regular people to be able to benefit from this stuff.
Yeah, they don't want regular people to be able to play the same games.
No.
And be able to benefit from using the same tools that they make their millions on. And so this is another thing where, I'm hearing horrible stories of like people taking their life because they lost a bunch of money in this. And so I could see them saying, well, this is why we need accredited investors only.
Yeah.
And use this as some justification.
This is definitely all part of the plan. You're looking at the people on the screen there that I think they obviously played a big part in it. Look at they going on TV, the tattoo, all the clues, look at all this stuff. I did a video too about stable coins. Maybe if you, I did a little, and might have a few curse words in there if you want to get the, the kids out of the room.
It's definitely something to
that one there. Yep.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the one you sent me earlier, yeah.
Tonight. So somebody asked me, they said, Johnny, what happens if Tether goes down? What happens if more stable coins go down? I told them, I said, well, short term, everything that happens is bad for the crypto space because of how markets are, how people overreact. I said, but if stable coins all went down, I said, that's actually great for Bitcoin and Litecoin. Guys, a stable coin? Really? A fucking stable coin? Is this crypto? We got into crypto to get away from the dollar, I thought. We got into crypto for monetary sovereignty. Really? To use a fucking stable coin? It's not why I got into crypto, right? So to me, cryptos went down a bad path because of all these stable coins. Guys, I've never used a stable coin once. I got into crypto to get out of the dollar. I'm getting into Bitcoin, into Litecoin. I don't want to go back into the dollar, into fiat, even though stable coin's not technically fiat. To me, it is, right? So again, if stable coins all went down, to me, that's super freaking bullish for Bitcoin, for Litecoin. If they regulate these stable coins, whoa, look out above for Bitcoin and Litecoin. Reason being, money that's held in things like Tether, USDC, and obviously you saw this UST. We saw what happened with that debacle, right? But money that's held in these will flow into Bitcoin. Some of it will flow into Litecoin, right? When I got into crypto back in 2017, there wasn't as many stable coins. There's only Tether. Wasn't a lot. Most people traded into Bitcoin. So a lot of the reason I think we didn't see such high prices on Bitcoin that everyone thought, oh, we're going to $100,000, right, is because of stable coins. Too many people traded into a stable coin, right? They should be trading into sound money like Bitcoin, like Litecoin. That's my take on these stable coins, guys. Don't be afraid. Remember, everything in the short term is bad. People freak out. Medium and long term, look out above. Peace.
Absolutely. I think that brings up a great point where when Bitcoin is more stable or more trustworthy, then, like the whole point is to leave the dollar system. So why are we trying to make a digital version of it and trusting in that? And we did it to ourselves, and putting all this faith and in that. And I think we keep asking they to fix it for us. We keep asking they for the rules. Where Sean said today, and I can't remember exactly how he said it, but basically like we need to quit trying to like fix the old system. We need to go build the new system. And that's what Bitcoin was Satoshi went and built a new money.
We need to make the old system irrelevant. So they want us focused on stable coins. Then they're like, see, look at all this demand for the dollarized stable coin. We need a CBDC. To me, it's disgusting because you have these, you got Bitcoin maximalists that always hated on us for we're trying to do with Litecoin, right? And it's like, we're trying to give people freedom. They're trying to tell people the dollar, use this, use your credit. I mean, it's just, it's disgusting. It really is. It's frustrating. It's disgusting. So it's like, what do? We just, I guess, keep our heads down and we keep, trying to spread the message to the right people. I just kept tweeting about this thing falling and falling down. You know what I mean? Falling down.
Well, and I think it lends to your point last week about even more reason why you're going to see people running to Litecoin because the timing of this is so obvious that what they're doing, they're setting this up for a revolution for people to say enough, that, they're going to, they're going to come in magically with their CBDC that you can trust. See, you shouldn't use that cryptocurrency stuff. That's, pirates. They're going to come in and they're going to run off with your money, with their cryptocurrency stuff. You should use a CBDC that's, backed by the bank and insured by the FDIC and all that. And then they're going to try to control it so that then they can spy on you and that way they know every transaction that comes in and out of Bitcoin, where you will have no privacy with your money, with your transactions. And that's where Litecoin, like you were explaining last week, is going to be so important and powerful just for our own sovereignty,
Yeah. Those of us that want it. Unfortunately, there's so many people. We even see them in the crypto space. Do they want it? Do they want this monetary sovereignty? I don't know. I don't think that they do. They want the profits. They want the quick buck. But it's there's a lot going on right now. That's all I could say. There's a lot going on. It's going to be a wild summer. I guarantee you that. So back in December, I said a couple of things. Told everyone, get ready for an event. They were going to do something to us to distract us from the reason we were in the masks.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to want to take our attention off of that. So the Russia-Ukraine thing totally distracted everybody's attention. And I also told everyone it was going to be a bad year for Bitcoin in the crypto space. I did think we were going to get a pump in December, and then I said we were going to fall after that. That's the only kind of thing that I definitely was wrong about. I was expecting that pump to happen, which didn't. But yeah, this is because we're in a deflationary environment right now. It's weird. So we're in a as the dollar's dying, where there's major inflation out there, but then there's these deflationary forces. They're trying to do everything to pop the markets, and the crypto market is a big one for them to try to suck money out of, because again, they can't, like Bick said in his video today, there's no rules against them manipulating it. They can manipulate it right now.
Well, and it's so easy to with the market cap. That was another point, right now in the financial markets globally, the $2 trillion that's in cryptocurrency is a drop in the bucket compared to the financial markets globally. So,
but what it does though, too, that takes more money out of the financial markets. There's a lot of almost counterparty risk now with the crypto because of all these funds and everything going on. There's a lot of stocks. Look at MicroStrategy, look at Square, look at all these different companies, Tesla, that their stocks pump based on crypto news. So if those stocks deflate as well, it's a way to suck a lot of money out of the system, cause some of that deflationary pressure. And then it's kind of helps their agenda too. They don't want people to trust crypto. They want people to distrust it. So unfortunately, right now, most people, their sentiment's very low. So they're not trusting of crypto. If you were like, hey, do you want to put a lot of money into crypto right now? Even though if you bought crypto at a higher price and you didn't want to buy now, then you shouldn't. I always tell people that's when you say, I shouldn't put any money into this anymore then, because I don't get it, kind of thing.
yeah.
So it's frustrating because they're serving multiple key sets of agenda at once for their end before we go into this hyperinflation. And, people that don't want to buy Bitcoin, or they don't like it at 28,000, or they don't like Litecoin at $65 or whatever, they love it at $400 when it's Litecoin, or they'll love Bitcoin again when Litecoin goes to $500, everyone will want it.
Yeah.
You should have wanted it when it was $65. And when Bitcoin goes over 70,000, oh my God, you'll see people flooding back in.
They'll all be asking us about it. Yeah.
And the next time around, I'm going to tell people, you have to now take sovereignty on your own. And now you have to, I'll help you technically with a transaction, but you have to figure it out now on your own, because if you didn't buy when it did the downturn and then you go to buying again on the upswing, you're not doing it right. So I don't want these people looking to me as the helper kind of thing. You know what I mean?
You don't want to be an enabler of that.
I don't want to be an enabler.
No.
If you're doubled down and focused now, those are the people that I'm like, okay, these are the people I want to align with. When things got tough, they and forget financially, double down with your energy, double down with your spirit. The videos, all this stuff is, doesn't have to be monetarily doubling down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think that's it. Well, do something disruptive. Do something, that can help spread the word about educating people. Those are the things you can do as well. So,
and you want to do it when the market's low.
Yeah.
And you want to do it because it's you don't want to only be out there when the market's pumped up. Now, I always tell people, if if you're sitting on zero, you don't know when they're going to pull the plug on the old system. It's always have some crypto assets, learn how to take possession of your funds, right? It's also good too, because if you buy into a market that's pumping, if you're sitting on zero, you get into crypto, then the market falls. Every single person I help send an app to or anything, I tell them, look, here's my rule, right? If you want to get into crypto as the market's pumping, home run, awesome. You're on zero, great. But most people aren't into it for why I'm into it. They just want to make money. They just want to make money, right? I still help those people because I'm like, hey, at least they're one step closer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I always tell them, look, if the price goes to a quarter of where it's at now or half of where it's at now, which they could put the price anywhere they want, and you're not buying, and you're not still want to buy in, don't want to buy in then you're not doing it right. When it turns around, I can't help you at that point in time. It's unfortunate, you know what I mean? Because
it's crazy. The whole thing is so crazy. There was, let's see, I wanted to tell everybody to go watch Economic Ninja's video that you sent me about the diesel shortages. So I watched the whole thing with my husband, and we went and filled up all the vehicles that he said Love's stores specifically. I think mostly in the Northeast, he was getting reports from a friend of his that had a trucking company or was somehow involved in trucking, and was reporting that they were literally out of diesel. So there's shortages now. So it's not just for us to complain about high prices, because remember that Joey took oil reserves out of our emergency oil reserves of the US and shipped it to Europe. So
makes sense, right?
That's a reality. And then speaking of shortages, and I think that's where this thing is so perfectly orchestrated for a revolution, because, it's one thing to run out of toilet paper or have shortages of this and that and make people kind of grumpy and whatever. But you have a hungry baby, and that crying mama because she can't feed her baby, and that young father comes home and he can't feed his family. He's got a, young wife that's crying saying, my baby's hungry, help, we need to feed our baby. He's going to do whatever he has to do to feed his family. And I think that is where we might see it get dangerous.
It might, but I think it's all part of their plan, because they want to get us as desperate as possible,
Mm-hmm.
because then they could be like, all right, here's the deal. You're going to get this free money, or this central bank digital currency. It's going to come with strings attached. We're going to need you to have your latest boosters. We're going to need you to do this and that. In my area, like I said, most people line up happily. They'll say, give them 8 jabs if you give them money and stuff.
Insane. Yeah.
So it's, again, it's frustrating. It's very frustrating when you see what's coming, and then you look, crypto people, just always never stay focused on a fiat goal. Always stay focused on your crypto goals. Hey, how much Litecoins do you want to acquire? How many Bitcoins do you want to acquire? How much Theta do you want to, whatever coin you're into, how much of the coin do you want to acquire? That's your share, that's your representation and ownership in that network. You know what I mean? That doesn't change regardless of the US dollar value going up and down.
Right.
That should be the goal of every crypto owner, is crypto goals, not fiat goals. And but I always say, look, when the price pumps, buy yourself something with your crypto. Nothing wrong with that. I always say the stupidest thing to do, especially if you have money coming in, you don't need the money. Bitcoin went up or Litecoin went up. Let me sell. And, let me look at money in my fiat bank account now on a screen. Ooh, here you go, bank. Here's my money to hold.
Right.
I'd say buy yourself something. Buy yourself something nice. Just go out and spend on your Litecoin card, right? Or invest in like another business or something. Invest in something that's going to generate you some cash flow. You know what I mean? That's why I always liked. That's why I kind of always liked DeFi, because I was like, hey, if crypto's pumping, you want to put some money in some pools, look at it like a little business and stuff, and like you get some passive income. Seems better and cooler than owning a property. Yada yada yada. So I'm still bullish on DeFi, guys. This Terra Luna thing doesn't change anything. Again, this wasn't the DeFi that I was recommending.
Yeah.
In any shape or
I
form.
think,
No one's ever.
yeah, I don't think, I think, yes, of course they aren't thrilled about us going into DeFi, but I think it's even bigger than that. I think it's about control and them wanting us not to have privacy and us they want to cut the lifeboats off the boat. Like they're trying to get rid of the exit ramps that they don't have control of. That's what.
And they want to scare people and say, you don't want to get in those lifeboats. You know what's in those lifeboats?
Mm-hmm.
It's scary in those lifeboats.
Yeah.
And now they want to be like, see, they have rough seas over there in those lifeboats.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we are in rough seas, but look, you don't get off of a shipwreck, get into a lifeboat, and you're not at a 5-star motel right away. I mean, that's not how things work. This is the analogy. We were in a shipwreck, right? Now, we always say, as crypto owners, gold, silver owners, people that get it, we got off the boat early because we get it. And we know there's not enough lifeboats. So we just said, hey, we're getting in lifeboats. We want to be in our lifeboat, right? There was really rough seas. The ship has a big leak. It's going to wreck, but it hasn't wrecked yet. And just like the Titanic, they were playing the music. The people were still dancing. The party's still going on.
Right.
They're pacifying everyone with, oh, Russia, Ukraine, oh, baby formula. Not that there's not shortages. Not that there's not stuff going on.
Not that it's not real, but it's
real stuff going on.
Right.
They're the ones doing it. They're the ones promoting it. They're the ones behind it, is what I'm saying. So they distract us. Look at this whole Russia-Ukraine thing. 2 weeks before that, everyone was up in arms about the Canadian truckers and the financial sanctions. 2 weeks later, everyone's cheering on financial sanctions. Right. So it's very, it's frustrating because we're seeing what's going on ahead of time. They're doing it, but it's still frustrating when you're living it. It's still frustrating. We're still human. If you live in the U.S., things are priced in dollar. So you're going to the store, things are priced in fiat. If your crypto does lose a lot of value, it is still weigh on your nerves a little bit. I mean, everyone's human. Let's be serious, but It's just don't focus on that. Focus on, if anything, the biggest opportunities come right now. So great opportunity right now is take advantage of the Bitcoin to Litecoin ratio.
Mm-hmm.
You were ever thinking about doing a swap into it, you're getting more for your money now than ever. And other coins as well. So I always said to people, when Theta was pumping, I missed the boat on Theta. I didn't get into Theta at all. I helped a few people get it. And I was happy for him. I'm one of those people, my friends are making money. I'm sitting there watching the price. I'm calling them up when it's pumping. It's like I own it because I'm happy for them, right? And I'm like, hey, bring me out to dinner or something. You made a lot of money. Let's go. We'll celebrate. I'll celebrate the Theta winnings with everybody, right? So I was pumped. But a lot of people were asking me, like, why aren't you getting into Theta? And I said, because Not now. My God, now. I said Litecoin hasn't moved. Why would it? In the ratio was where one Litecoin got you like 20 theta when theta was pumping. Even under that, at one point it was like 16 or 17 theta one Litecoin would get you.
Mm.
And I told everyone, I said, I would move, the only way I would swap Litecoin into theta, or my gauge of it would be when it goes back to where one Litecoin equals 50 theta. So what happened in this recent price drop, you can get 50 theta for one Litecoin. So that's what I mean about being patient, waiting it out, timing it out. Now, if you really wanted to really want to fire on all cylinders, if you wait till the markets drop and you swap one asset to the other and you do it the right way, you could even get that T word that's in the comments right off. I don't want to say it all because they'll say, hey, Johnny's giving people advice or whatever. But it's not in the comments. The caption of the show, that T word ends in X, and then you're writing it off. So you can even get one of those. You tell it a loss, moving, you know what I mean? So it's a lot of ways people can play this, a lot of ways you can take advantage of stuff. If you wanted to get your hands on a lot of a coin, you're obviously can buy way more at a lower price. So just look at the opportunity rather than don't look at it like a pessimist. But also too, when the markets pump, when the market pumped last year, if you have to pay something off, there's nothing wrong with that. If you said, hey, I made a ton of money in crypto and I want to pay my rent for a year or something, or I want to pay my this for a year, I want to pay off my car payment or this or that. There's nothing wrong with paying something off if you just made a lot of money in something.
Right.
That's
taking
not
some profits. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or if you really need the money, if you're like, hey, I'm getting evicted from my place, but I can't sell my Bitcoin. But by the way, I just made $400,000. I owe my landlord $9,800. He's kicking me out. I'm gonna be homeless. I'd be like, dude, sell a little Bitcoin and pay the landlord. You know what? Sell 15,000. Give him a couple extra months. Tell him you're sorry, this and that, and say, hey, I want to give you a few extra months cushion for when the market might drop and you can't pay him again.
Wow. Yeah. But you got to have a plan, I think, is that point that you're making. Like, if you don't have a plan, if you're not ready for it, then, these opportunities, which a bear market is an opportunity if you have a plan, and
you got to make the plan ahead of time, guys. Right. I'm buying Litecoin heavy right now. Now when Litecoin was running up last year, I wasn't buying it really. It was running up. Market was bouncing around. Like I said, I was spending some of my Litecoin card. I was doing stuff in DeFi. I was buying a little bit, but nothing like where I was like, what kind of money do I got in this account?
Right. Getting out the kids' the baby's bank, the piggy bank.
Yeah. Yeah. So now, I bought this morning, last night, the day before, and as the market's dropping, I'm buying. I started when the market was sitting around $100. I was like, Litecoin's around $100. I started buying in, dropped to 90, bought in more. Yeah. When it dropped to 70 the other day, I was like, oh my God, I gotta make a bigger buy. I made a bigger buy at 70. Now, when it went down last night, when it went in the 50s, I made the biggest buy I've made in the last year. You know what? I'm going to buy all the way down. And that's my plan. Not that I'm a rich guy. I'm just going to buy all the way down. Whatever spare change I get my hands on, that's my plan. And see how I make out, guys. We'll see if we can look back on this show and we're laughing about it.
Remember that bear market? We were so excited. My husband woke me up this morning. He was like, our order on Matic filled at 50 cents. He was all excited, and that's when you have a plan.
Yeah.
When,
had an order in.
When other people are like devastated because the number went down, and you had a plan,
When
So,
Litecoin and Bitcoin in 2018, they crashed to all the year until the end of the year. Like Bitcoin went down under $3,500, went down back to almost
yeah,
3,000.
yeah.
Litecoin went down to $22. I've showed people several buys then, and people are like, "You were buying then?" Like I was like, "You weren't." They're like, I thought it was going lower, this and that. I'm like, if it was going lower, you were buying at triple, 5 times the price. You weren't
Right.
buying then. They're like, wow, Jonny really had, some balls of steel buying then. Like, what gave you the conviction? I'm like, give me the conviction. I'm like, this is, first of all, Litecoin, Bitcoin, it's all public data. You look at the blockchain, look at the hash rate. The hash rate on Litecoin's been going through the roof. So the hash rate's rising as the price is falling. Just more of an opportunity. Thank you, Novogratz, you idiot, for suppressing the price of Litecoin so we can get more cheaper Litecoin,
Well, and who do you think's buying it when they do that? That's the other thing. That they're not doing that just to hurt the people. They're also doing it to tank the market because they know they got to get their ships filled up with that stuff because they know the dollar's dying too. They're the first ones to get off the ship. Who's the guy? The story. Speaking of the Titanic, is it the Westwood knows this? One of the banksters. He was supposed to be on the Titanic, and at the last minute, he gave somebody else his ticket, or he got off the ship or something. I can't remember who that is.
There was definitely a lot of stuff with the
I'll ask Westwood tomorrow.
With the whole Federal Reserve and the Titanic. There's definitely a lot of I've went down the road of the Titanic conspiracy videos and different it's very interesting as far as different theories on why it sunk, how it sunk, were there raging fires below deck that they were just flying through that ice field? Did they want to sink it? Was it related to the Federal Reserve? Lots of different theories on it. One guy though, I've actually, some of the coolest things to watch are if you go back, it's a lot of audio footage from the 50s and stuff of survivors. One guy, I watched it. It was so surreal. And Kelly's like, maybe this was you in a past life. She's like, you're so and the guy, he was on the part of the crew, and everyone was supposed to go down with the ship. The very end, he said, screw that. He jumped in the water, and it was like he saved himself. And I was like, that's exactly what I would have done. Go down the ship like some freaking idiot? No way. I'm saving myself.
God. Well, maybe that's why you take those cold showers or whatever.
Yeah, 100%. And what happened to him was he was in the water, and he went by a lifeboat, and there was too many people on it, so he was trying to get on it, and they were hitting him with the oars or whatever, because then it's going to take the whole boat down. And a lady that was on that lifeboat made believe it was her son. And so this man woke up on the deck of the other ship, which was the Carpathia, I think was the other ship that a lot of the ship that picked up the survivors. He woke up on the Carpathia after remembering diving into the water. I mean, this guy's story was so insane. And
he was saved by a woman pretending that that was her son.
Yeah.
So she had compassion for him and lied about. Wow.
There's some cool. There's one lady talks about her recollection of it, and she was with her mom and different things and just how they in the boat and the lifeboat and looking up at the ship as it went up, and crazy how cold the water was too. It was like a phenomenon then, how cold the water was that time of year in that area. The water shouldn't have been that cold.
Interesting.
I think it was only that's why there was all those ice. It was like an ice field in that area. The water should have been.
that time.
Water should have been significantly warmer.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring up one more thing before we close out. And I know this is dangerous, but we're not on YouTube today. So figure we can play. This is what got us my whole channel totally taken off of YouTube the first time. But tax professionals are horrified by IRS decision to destroy data on 30 million filers. So this is a Newsbreak article. The IRS destroyed data for an estimated 30 million filers in March of 2021, according to the Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration. This decision, prompted by a backlog for paper filings, has sparked anger in the tax community. It just further damages the IRS's reputation in the business community. So how will people know if their stuff got destroyed or not? Like, they had that huge backlog.
IRS destroyed data for an estimated. On what basis? Do they give a basis? Do they say for what reason?
Wait a minute. Here's a CNBC. IRS destroys data. Decision prompted by backlog of paper filings has sparked anger in the tax community. Blah, blah. It just further damages key points. So blah blah blah. Material known as paper filed information returns and accounting sent by yearly employers, financial institutions, covers taxable activity such as W-2 forms with copies sent to taxpayers and the IRS. The continued inability to process backlog of paper filed tax returns contributed to management's decision to destroy an estimated 30 million paper filed information return documents, according to the report. So it's some Treasury Inspector General's Tax Administration revealed this in a report. Okay, IRS backlog created by years of budget cuts, understaffing, pandemic-related office closures, and added duties is expected to clear by December, though. Well, then why'd they have to do this if it's all expected to clear by December?
Basically, they destroyed all the paper.
It doesn't specify which information returns the agency checked. The news has triggered angry responses from tax professionals. CNBC reached out to the IRS for comment. Missing information returns can cause a mismatch at the IRS, delaying refunds because the agency can't verify details on taxpayers' returns. While eventually consequences of the decisions are unknown, tax professionals have complained about the stream of automated IRS notices with limited options to reach the agency. It really doesn't give a lot of information.
I'm not saying why, just that they let's see at the bottom. It says small businesses stress every year in January trying to accurately prepare these information returns and get filed on time. See, the IRS destroy these is like the IRS admitting that they don't really care. They don't care. I mean,
Yeah.
Of course they don't care. It's
and it's just saying they're not putting those into the system. There's going to be discrepancies. Then they're sending out these notices, but they're not accurate.
I think it's all more part of the plan. Think about it. Give people this whole tax stress. Let people capitulate. Starve them. Take the baby formula from them. Give them tax stress. Give them every threatened stuff with Russia and all this. Get them on every angle and say, you know what? We can all make it better to pacify it. You just sign up right here for your CBDC.
But I think it also could be the good guys saying, like, is this enough? You mad yet? And then there's also the whole thing where Trump is pushing Oz, that Dr. Oz guy who's a complete rhino. People are booing him as Trump is pushing him out there and announcing him. And I think they were in Philadelphia or Pennsylvania or somewhere. Well, Pennsylvania, anyway, is in Philadelphia. But they were booing him, and what was my point? They were saying
Trump's behind him over the other guy, McCormick. Trump's pushing.
Yeah, and Trump saying to choose him and all this. I almost think Trump is removing himself from the picture. And if you think about it, it kind of creates the perfect storm for the people to take back the country themselves. And he said that in some of his speeches that he was going to, I can't remember how he said it exactly, but he was saying like, not that he was going to save the country, but that the people were going to do it. And all this is that perfect storm. Like, young men are going to be like, I need to feed my family. And why are you sending? I saw another article that said that there's plenty of formula at the border for the illegals, immigrants to come into the shelters. There's plenty of baby formula there for hardworking Americans that are, want to feed their own family, that kind of thing. So all these people filing their taxes, but then now your stuff's not matching up and the IRS is incompetent and people are like, why am I bothering? And then Joe's sending our emergency oil reserves to Europe and he's sending another 40 billion over to Ukraine while we've got this crap going on. Like, why bother? Why are we doing this? Opt out.
It makes zero sense to me, but it's all, it makes sense that they want to drive us crazy and get us desperate. That's, I hope it's the good guys trying to expose what's going on. But I feel like it's just more the bad guys trying to get us desperate so they could put a lot of pressure on us. And, this CBDC, if they do it the right way on their end, it'll be immensely popular when they roll it out because they're going to give people free money. Most people are going to want that. So they can, on their end, they'll position it where it's like the savior of everything. It's the savior of your problems. It's saving you. It's they can get money to you.
People blow through that. I mean, everybody got, well, not everybody, we didn't, but people got those $2,000 or $1,500 COVID checks or whatever. They blew through that like a fat kid on a hot slide,
Oh yeah,
that was like.
They want to roll out universal basic income to most people.
Right.
If they offer this to people, most of the country is going to want it. If they tell people we're going to pay you to sit home and do nothing and eat junk because they want you eating, they won't let you buy healthy food with it, or healthy food will be too expensive to buy with it. So they'll say, look, you can buy all the McDonald's and Twinkies and 99-cent 2 liters of soda that you want, and hell, they'll even let you buy, whatever bad with it, and just load yourself up with bad. But you gotta really load yourself up with this bad stuff because we're gonna make the money expire that we give you. So we really want you to go out there and buy all this junk every month. Buy the junk, right? Get you addicted to the medical system, and then they get you hooked. They want you. I always say they want you sick, depressed, medicated, and dependent.
Definitely. It's definitely an unhealthy situation. I saw another doctor post. She was talking about how that the food here in the US specifically is so bad because all the fillers and the crap that's in it and how bad our quality of food is, and that, that humans have been out in the sunlight for as long as we know, but the rate of skin cancer has gotten exponentially worse, especially in the US over the last so many years. I don't know when she was talking about, since the 70s or something. And she's like,
the food.
That's because of our food.
Well, I actually have a real life observation. So the reason I'm in this hat, I had to get, when I used to not eat well. Because I always lifted and I just ate everything, right? And led to all my problems, my psoriasis, all this stuff, my arthritis. what was I going to say? So I had to get stuff cut off of me, right? And then they'd send it out and they'd say, oh, it's going to turn to cancer. We got to take more off of you. Now I have a massive scar on my head that's there forever. I'm freaking deformed. And I always tell people, thank God I'm not a model. And I have a scar on my back that looks like I was in like a prison yard fight. It looks like I was stabbed down my back, right? Now, I used to put sunscreen on religiously. Oh, sunscreen on all the time, hide from the sun, right? I go in the sun every day now. I do wear this hat, but I take my shirt off. I go in the sun. I eat so much better. I never wear sunscreen, and I do not get burned. So explain that to me. I used to eat bad, wear nothing but sunscreen, and fry like a lobster, and I had all these things they had to cut off and told me they're bad and they're cancerous, they're going to turn to cancer or whatever. Most people now that are like me, they would say, don't go in the sun at all, you're damaged.
Right.
I said, screw that.
Yeah.
I'm eating better. I'm going in the sun more, you maniacs.
Good. Well, and I think sunscreen's bad for you. If you read what's on there, it's
Horrible
like all
for you.
kinds of chemicals. I'm like,
Ugh.
that
And
can't
that
be
spray
good for you.
sunscreen, I don't want it near me. I don't put sunscreen on ever.
It can't
What
be
I
good.
do is because you obviously still get burned. I'm
Sure,
not
sure.
like I don't have olive oil dark skin, right? I do get burned still, but what I do without the sunscreen on, your body tells you, hey, you're getting too hot, get in the shade.
Mhm.
Your body's natural heat sensors telling you, like an animal. Animals, if they get too hot, they go in the shade.
Right.
Like people are like, oh, let me lather up with sunscreen. I'll go to the beach for 8 hours and fry out there like all day long drinking beer, and they wind up like a freaking tomato and a lobster when they leave. You know, so it's your body's natural sensors should tell you, hey, enough's enough. You're burning. Get in the shade. Go inside for a few minutes. That's my thing. I go in and out of the sun, in and out, in and out. And I give myself those nice 10, 15-minute doses in the strong sun, go in the shade for 10 or 15 minutes, go right back out into the sun. So it's, I'm a sun junkie.
Vitamin D that way for sure.
Yes. Natural D. If you're feeling too a little lousy, go in the sun. That natural dose of vitamin D will make you feel better. A lot of times if I'm on the computer doing work for hours, I start feeling lousy, and I'm not that I'm getting sick, but it's like I just feel lousy, and it's almost like if I got any symptom, it would lead me into getting sick. It's like, let me go in the sun for a little bit. Let me chill out, go in the sun, let that D hit me. I literally go in, I feel like $1 million, and it's just like next.
It makes a big difference for sure. Definitely. So you guys make sure you get outside and get some sunshine, and
Yes.
And help us get this video out there. Share it wherever you're watching it. If you're watching on Odyssey, share that for us on Twitter, retweet it. And if you're watching us on Facebook, give that a share as well. And if you're out there on Twitch, hello, and share it for us there too. I'm going to try to add some more streaming possibilities on Rumble, and I finally got my Truth Social, so I don't know if I can stream to Truth Social, but I can at least upload videos there. So I'm going to start doing some of that stuff too. So going to find some other options where we're not shut down so much.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So, well, thanks, Johnny. Like your sun hat, looking good. Keep that spy work up for us.
Thanks, Lisa.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys. Take care.